Good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 18 participants in the house. You guys thought coming in early, it was just like, oh, I'm going to sit here. We're going to do nothing for 4 minutes. But no, that's not how I roll. We're going to immediately get into this, people. All right. First video. Look on in. We've got a play here, and you're going to get to make a call. I'll have this play a couple times. Again, kind of take it in. We're playing 11v11, looks like, on this pitch. Okay, so we got no build out line to worry about, anything like that. And you're going to have a foul call to make. So referee has called a foul. Referee's called a foul. So what's going to be your decision and the restart? Is it common foul, no card, direct free kick? Is it a foul, stopping a promising attack, yellow card, direct free kick? Is it a reckless challenge, yellow card, direct free kick? Or is it denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, a red card, and a direct free kick? Here comes the poll, people. There you go. Boom. You should be seeing it right now. Go ahead and hop in and make your selection. Ooh, got a couple red card dogsos going in. Couple yellow card promising attack. You can go into the chat too, and you can even give your considerations in there. Drop your considerations in the chat. Love that we've got some split, man. We got 6 people going yellow card, stopping a promising attack, and 4 people going for dogso, red card, and direct free kick. I'll give a couple more seconds for the last 5 people to go ahead and do it. Yeah, this is, I will tell you where I come down in here. And the laws of the game would say that all 4 of our dogso conditions are met. We've got, distance, direction, number of defenders, and likelihood of control. Man, I think, yeah, there's no one in between that foul and the goal. It's maybe 5 yards outside the penalty area. Could be harsh for the age level. Again, I'll give you that. You might say, hey, they look young. It's only U12. Okay, I appreciate that. Maybe we can throw a yellow card, but yeah, I think the laws of the game, forget about age or anything like that, might say, oh, I think this is a red card. So I don't know. Very curious. If you have other, can't tell where penalty area is. Let's say it's like 10 yards outside of the, there's the arc. Ooh, it's 5 yards outside of the arc. So yeah, so it's outside the penalty area. So if it was inside the penalty area, then we would definitely say something different, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Next one. Let's go on. This one's a really good one. Hang on, I'm going to end this poll. All right. Is this a good goal, restart with kickoff, or is it no goal and an indirect free kick for the defending team coming out? IFAB laws apply. All you high school referees, okay? All the high school refs, don't start throwing your NFHS rule books at me. Okay, this is an IFAB laws apply. So let's see, I'm gonna go back and this was poll number 1. So that was the results for our poll number 1. So we had the yellow card. Now let me go poll number 2 here, folks. Let's go. We're gonna launch this one. Is it no goal, indirect free kick for the defending team, or is it a good goal, restart with kickoff? Let's get everyone answering. We got 31 people in here. So this should definitely be a lively discussion. Again, as a reminder for those who might have just come in, okay, we are doing IFAB laws, not NFHS. That is a big deal on this one if you do high school refereeing, okay? Man, this is split like right down the middle. We got 12 people in right now. Okay. So guys running to take the kick, comes pretty much to a stop, and then continues to take the kick. Is it a good goal, restart with kickoff, or no goal, indirect for the defending team? All right, I'm going to give 10 more seconds for those who jumped in. Put your answer in because we got to get going into our chat real quick or into the meeting. All right, I'm going to end the poll right here, guys, and share the results. Guys, it is not an indirect free kick offense to come to a stop in the run-up to the penalty kick. It is an offense if you feint once you've finished the run-up, like once you put your plant foot down, okay, to kick the ball. If they stop there, then it would be an indirect free kick offense. But in IFAB law, you can come to a stop. You can take even a step a little back. You can start moving back forward. You can hop. But as long as you're, once you reach the ball, your motion is continuous. It is a good goal. Good goal. All right. Next one up. Last one, then we'll jump into the call. So I like these. These are fun. These are fun. All right. Let's go. Last one here. Oh, let's see. Now I went back. We got to go forward. We got to go forward. Oh my gosh. This one. Cray cray. Oh my gosh. My favorite part is why is no one in the bench reacting to this challenge? Like everyone's just like chilling. It's almost like it's like fake. Like, really? You come in like that? No reaction? Whew. All right. So let me put up the poll on this one. Oh, we're gonna admit everyone here. Sorry, I had a couple people waiting in the waiting room. Come on, we're just having so much fun. I forgot to let people in. Okay. And I'm going to put up the poll right here. Let's go ahead and get our poll. Poll. Where's my poll? Polls, quizzes. And let's do back. And poll number 3. I'm going to launch this. Go to the poll and answer. We got 50 people in here. Let's see if we can get everyone to answer this one. Is it no foul, all ball? Of course, right? I got the ball. Maybe. A foul and no card. You go in reckless challenge, yellow card, direct free kick, and serious foul play, red card, direct free kick. You can go ahead and put your comments in the chat. Why do I think we are all late? Not sure. There's some comments in the chat about start at 8 p.m. No, it's 8 p.m. your time. Should be all good here. Okay, so everyone's put it in. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll and put it out there and share the results. We had 70% yellow card and direct free kick. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same place. It's very orange, right? It's like you want to like yellow card and be like, hey, if there was an orange card, you would get it. You know, sliding challenge, you know, contact is low, not going through feet studs up. Definitely medium, if not high force there. But yeah, it's just right outside, you know, that yellow feels reddish just because it feels so hard. But yeah, I think all the conditions would tell us that it would be a yellow card and a direct free kick, reckless challenge. Okay. Good. Thank you guys so much for having fun and getting started. We want this to be a good time. You can see all the results from that right there on that quiz. Most people, 70% with the yellow card and the direct free kick. And now, Blake, if you'd like to go ahead and kick us off.
Uh, First off, don't worry, you are not late. David was just getting the group going there as people were coming in. My name is Blake George. I am the league competitions manager with SoCal. I work with the clubs to create their schedules. I work with all of your assigners. I wanted to say first and foremost, thank you for being a referee in Southern California. You guys are part of making the games happen every weekend. Every weekend right now is a very busy weekend. SoCal this year is putting a lot of effort into both coach parent behavior on the sidelines, as well as how can we help the referee community develop? How can we help referees be better in their continued education? Um, and part of that, we have brought on our director of referee development and programming. His name is David Gerson, known as Gerson. He is going to take you through some calls during the full season and with the focus on lots of different topics. Hopefully, they can get some of you excited to be out on the field. Hopefully, you can take a little nugget of information from every session that you attend. And I'm going to pass over to David for the rest of the call.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Blake. I really do appreciate you, and you've been a wonderful partner and so great to meet all of you out in Southern California. I am just delighted to be here. We're going to have a good time together. So I think everyone would agree who's watching this call, and probably every parent who's involved in youth sports and coaches, that these two young women right here, if they make a good pass or a bad pass, or they take a shot and they hit or they miss, no one would feel good about someone screaming at them saying, you know, how did you miss that shot? You know, why did you take that shot from there? How did you not hit that pass? Whatever that might be. I mean, we wouldn't. We would treat them with respect. You know, they're players, youth sporting event, you know, whatever color jersey they're wearing, they should be treated with respect. But somehow when a young woman, similar age, right, I don't know if she's 13, 14, 15 years old, puts on a yellow jersey, that all of a sudden it's okay to question their decisions. It's okay to yell abuse at them. It's okay to insult them as if it's just part of the game, or it should be expected. It's just part of sport. I don't believe it is. I was a Division I rugby player in college, played for 4 years, and then a little men's league after that. I also got certified as a rugby referee, and I can tell you, it's a very competitive sport. There's a lot of intensity, very, very intense out there on the pitch. But the referees are treated with the utmost respect. They respect the call. Whether it's a red card, yellow card, whatever it might be, decision of referee is final. You don't argue any call. You would never yell anything questioning the referee's credibility, or you'd be gone pretty quickly. It just doesn't happen. So if it can be done, and it has been done, it can be done again. And I think we can work towards a place within SoCal and beyond that there should be respect for everyone on the pitch, regardless of what color jersey or what role they might have on the day, whether it's a player, a spectator, a coach, or, yeah, a referee. So as Blake said, I've been newly brought to you guys, and I'm so thrilled to be here as Director of Referee Programming and Development. I have been a referee for approximately 11 years now. That's my son, Jacob. He started, used to be able to get certified. For a bunch of people who've been referees for a long time, used to be able to get certified at 10 years old. So he was 10 and I was 40 at the time, just about to be 51. And this is him, I think actually this year, at Copa America, if I'm not mistaken. Or it was a Copa, the Club World Cup. And that's me as a referee. So I referee every weekend. I'm going to be out in Oceanside, in Oceanside at the end of this month, reffing a tournament, MPL tournament. So you'll see me, and I ref all the time. I got an ECNL tournament this weekend, a couple games I'm going to be doing each day. It's going to be a good time. Outside of being a referee, I've been a marketing brand leader for many years, led a number of different multi-billion-dollar brands and kind of marketing and PR roles. I got 3 wonderful kids, outstanding, really cool wife. And then also this year, as relevant to this conversation, I got to be a consultant working with Carey Sites on the new referee abuse policy. And me and one of my business partners developed all of the videos that you've seen, the website, all the content. Really help communicating the referee abuse policy that everyone understands what we're talking about. So it's a lot of fun, to say the least. So I'm thrilled to be here today. Okay, so today, guys, and we're going to keep this call relatively tight. It's 11:09 right now, my time, 8:09 your time. And I want this to be wrapped up by about 45 minutes after the hour. These calls, the reason why you saw like kind of polls and quizzes when you were dialing in is I want every single minute that we're together to be worthwhile. I've been through way too many training calls where it's an hour and a half and it's just a lot of dilly-dallying and talking for the first 30, 40 minutes or so. Not the way we're going to do it. If you make a commitment of time to jump onto one of these calls, it is going to be worthwhile. It's going to be action-packed. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you care about, what you like, what you don't like. The chat is open. If you've got any questions, let us know. We will respond to every single question that we can, and also let us know what you're looking forward to in the future. But since we're getting into the season right now, we had our first games last week, and we're getting into now our second games, another 3,000 something games this weekend per Blake, which is crazy, 3,300 games. I thought it would be relevant since we've extended, we've in the referee abuse policy, and we've also expanded to spectators to talk about what should we be letting people say, just the atmosphere of the match? When should we take action? Let me and let it go. And if this seems familiar to you, I didn't invent it. Mel Robbins, very famous podcaster right now and author, really kind of coined these phrases into the popular lexicon. If you have not read The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins or gotten the audiobook, mark it down. It's something you're going to do. So let's talk about when or what we should let them say on the pitch as referees. So we know people are going to say things without a doubt. Let's see. Someone said there's people in the waiting room. I got to tell you, I do not have anyone in the waiting room. So I don't see anyone there. So sorry. So what should we let people say? People are going to say things that are stupid. They're going to say, high kick. They're going to say, played it on the ground. They're going to say, call it both ways, all of those things. Sorry, I do see waiting room people. I got it now. Thank you. So those are things that people are just going to say. And, you know, is it a great thing for people to say? No, it's a lack of understanding. But do you get anything about, embarrassing someone and say, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. It's actually, playing in a dangerous manner. Why don't you keep your mouth shut? Probably not. It doesn't help at all. So, no reason to go ahead and do that. People are going to moan and groan. You're the referee. Okay. So when you actually do, make a call, people are going to be like, really? Oh, how's that a foul? It's offsides. Handball, like every 5 seconds, like people sometimes say it. Every time it hits someone's hand, people say that. So they're going to moan and groan, on every decision or no decision you make, right? And then there's, of course, the vent and release of frustration. I got the ball. No way, that's a foul. He tripped me, whatever it might be. People are going to vent when either they do get a call or don't get a call. Okay, it happens. It's a competitive environment. It's charged. People are going to, think out loud, and that stuff happens. And that's part of it. I have this wonderful picture of Tori Penso here. If you do not kind of seek out and watch Tori as often as you can, honestly, you're missing out. My son and I had the opportunity to go see her front row. She did an Atlanta United game this year. We got to meet her afterwards. I mean, she is the master of kind of game management emotion and can really be a chameleon with her, her emotions and body language and facial expressions, to really be, the right person at the right time and the right in the moment. But she understands that, again, there's going to be emotion, and she's not going to let someone else's emotion, change her emotion. I always really encourage my kids to do that as well. It's like, don't let someone else's, mindset, emotion, attitude change your mindset, emotion, and attitude. You're in control of your emotions. If people want to act up, and act out, let them. It's not necessarily about you. If it's just that one-time isolated venting, sometimes you do need to get a little, more serious and take a little bit more command. But don't let every little outburst, take you over. So emotional outbursts are what I would call kind of in this green, spectrum of dissent. Emotional outbursts are going to happen, and we can let those things go. There's a gray area, right? And we're going to see that in a couple seconds where, someone could say something and maybe on one day it might just be considered an emotional outburst, but maybe another day and the way it was said and the attitude it was said and the gestures it was said and the fact they said it 4 different times, okay, well, that could be something that's dissent. So all of these things have gray areas. And then at the end of the spectrum, you get into what we call offensive, insulting, and abusive language. All right. So emotional outbursts. What is it like? We're going to let people say these things. We're going to let people moan and groan. We're going to let people just vent frustration. If it's immediate, it's not sustained, right? You've just called a foul and someone like, oh, come on. And they're walking away, okay? And it's just that little bit of just a release, okay? Okay, it's an outburst. It happens. Someone's raised a flag for offside and coach is like, how is that offside? Just single time, okay, not sustained. It's an outburst. Just let it go. It's a result of a referee's decision. It's not an attack on you. It's not ridiculing you or questioning your credibility, unless it's done many, many times. And we'll talk about that in a second, but it's not a personal attack. Okay. They've not used profanity. It's not provocative. It happens one time. That's an outburst. And it's going to happen. And we have to kind of train ourselves to understand that, in a competitive sporting environment, those things are going to happen. So those outbursts are like, no, are you kidding me? Come on. Oh, no way. And we've all said them sometimes too. We're not perfect individuals, right? I mean, certainly, right? But that would be an emotional outburst. Again, this is a great example. So called a foul on someone and they're walking away and like, come on. Yep. All right. We don't need to call them back and card them for dissent. I mean, it's happening away from us. They're just venting out. No biggie. Okay. That random coach or that random parent. And yes, the S is used for effect. It's insider referee humor there. So trust me, I know it's not offsides plural. I get it. But how is that offside? Okay. It happens. Whether it's under their breath or out loud, as long as no one's screaming at me, how could you make that offside call? Which would be different. But how is that offside? All right. It happens. Someone's upset. They've thought out loud. It just is a thing. I mean, again, you all know what this is like. You've made a call or someone's like, hey, come on, like, how is that not a poll? How is that not a trip? It's like, hey, I'm sorry, it's not, I, it's not what I saw. I can only call what I see. Sorry, wasn't enough contact for me, whatever it might be, fair challenge, and that's just the way it is. Now it starts moving though, and I'm sure you'd all agree on this one. Like you do the no, or are you kidding me? But it's a scream, really loud and really public. So it's not just a, oh, but it's like, no way. And they're screaming across the pitch. Well, that's different, right? I mean, that is like all of a sudden everyone stops and looks. I'm sorry. Yeah, that starts moving into dissent. Or someone's coming at me. Okay. They're not walking away. I mean, they have calculated, they're taking a walk towards me, and they're like, are you kidding me? With a gesture. Ooh, my gosh. Well, that definitely is going to put, towards dissent as well. So again, gestures, trying to confront something calculated coming at you. Yeah. One of these things, the come on, or are you kidding me? All of a sudden could start working into dissent very, very quickly. I will say though, and just for, everyone's knowledge, it's one, I personally, again, as a 50-year-old, and let me tell you, I'm perfectly comfortable, carding coaches, carding players, having coach deal with spectators who are engaged in public persistent dissent. I do it all the time. But I do, when someone is like, no way, like, are you kidding me? Like something like that as a one-time isolated outburst, again, I might manage that situation. If it is a minor, and I've got someone who's 13, 14, 15 years old, my tolerance level for emotional outbursts is way down low. And I want everyone here on this call, okay? You need to look out for these people, okay? I have no tolerance for someone having a loud emotional outburst at a tween or teen, 13, 14, 15 years old. They need to be treated with kid gloves, okay, every single time. Okay, that's part of the green badge, right? So they are different. They are special. So please, please, please make sure that you hear that, nip that in the bud right away. Manage it. And if you need to after that, card, without a doubt. Okay. So now we've talked about, letting them through this, like the venting emotional outbursts. But there does become a time when let me take action. Like if it moves into dissent, we absolutely need to take action. And again, I don't care how thick a skin you have. Okay. I really don't. You might be, it doesn't bother me, whatever, I let it roll off my back. But the next person, it might be the straw that breaks the camel back. Okay. And again, if you show that this is permissible behavior, well, then everyone thinks, well, this is the standard. Well, we should be able to do this to everyone. So I'm going to beg you, please stop. In my state of Georgia last year, 87% of the referees who signed up in 2024 did not sign up for 2025. 87%. I understand the number in Southern California is close to 80%. Okay. We can't have 4 out of 5 people who come to referee, who pay the money to be a referee, drop out because number one, and they tell us in the surveys, spectator abuse, and number 2, coach abuse. So it's not about you. Okay. It's about everyone. It's about them. Please think about the children and take action, okay, on dissent. And I see it. Protect the youth and newbies. I'm with you, Anthony. That's right. That is right, my friend. So what is dissent like, okay? Dissent is personal. It's public, okay? It doesn't, okay, it could be personal and maybe they've said it somewhat quietly, but I still hear it, right? Okay, so it could be personal and or public. It could be persistent. So again, it's that emotional outburst, right? Like, really? Oh, every time you make a call, like you get 3 calls into a match, or every call and non-call, you're hearing something. Yeah, coach, that's enough. You're engaged in persistent dissent. If it's provocative, like designed to get like a reaction and get under your skin or something like that, I mean, it's not okay because there's impacts to that. There are impacts. It disrupts play. Everyone's now like, what's going on? It erodes the authority of the referee. It escalates tension in the match, and emotions are contagious. Emotions are contagious. If you have a coach who is reacting negatively and questioning every call, guess what? What are the parents going to do? What are the kids going to do? Are you going to have any ability to have some match control out there? No, it's going to spiral. We've got to nip it in the bud. Again, it's the number one reason why refs quit, and it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help anyone. Can we just all just understand? It's not going to help the referee make a better decision. It's not going to help the players accept the decision, respect the call. Okay, it's not going to change the call. It doesn't help anyone. So we do need to take action. Now, I'm a talker out there. I will say that, when I need to. I'm not going to try and, I'd like to use all the tools I have in my bag before I have to card someone. So it's totally fine if I have someone who's maybe, a little reactionary and they haven't had me as a referee before, I may be able to de-escalate the situation. I may be able to come over. Maybe the last couple of refs they've have let them be very vocal over there and have let them engage in dissent. I'll come over in a calm tone of voice and be like, hey, you're starting to get into that, pretty, persistent dissent category. Okay. It's not acceptable. Please stop or there will be consequences. Okay. Sound fair? Hey, listen, I can't see everything out there. I'm doing the best I can. Sorry, I didn't see whatever you were upset about. I'm sorry. All I can do is the best I can. What you need to do, though, stop engaging in the public persistent dissent, or there will be consequences. And I'm just trying to I'm empathetic, but I'm also trying to lay down the law as much as possible. And I'll be honest. I mean, if I didn't see something and someone's upset about something, I'll be like, hey, sorry, coach, I didn't see it. That's it. What are they going to do? It's I'm just being honest. I'm being approachable. I'm being humble. I'm being empathetic. I'm not trying to go fuel the fire. It's like, you shut up now. Stop talking or anything like that. So that's the type of thing. I do have someone's comment here, wearing the respect armband. Very good. I haven't seen other people wearing theirs. Okay, very good. Yeah, respect armband, always a good thing. I love that too. I'm watching the chat over on this screen. So again, it's not helpful for anyone if there's dissent out there. This was actually a situation with this player at that moment in time. He was upset. He had gotten fouled, and he was starting to get upset and come at some other people. And I just took a moment and hey, whew, let's take a breath. Sometimes you just need to get people out of that reptilian brain and the red mist is across their face and they can't see logic anymore. Just hey, come take a walk with me. I want to keep you on the pitch. Please, I'm trying to manage the match best I can. Got that foul. It's just a trip. There's no card there. Let's try and stay focused and play some soccer. Sound good? Great. So I'm always going to try and take it down, as much as I possibly can. And I love these lines, calm down, please. I can only call what I see, stay focused on the game. So quick, calm communication. This is a great one. Okay. So guys, if you see this, okay, and someone is, every single time, they're questioning a call or a call's been made, okay, and they just continue to chirp, whether they're chirping at you or chirping at the assistant referee. Is that an emotional outburst or dissent? Go ahead and type into the chat. Someone just continues, chirping at the referee, your assistant referee, or you as the referee. They don't stop. Maybe they aren't using anything particularly profane, but they just keep on chatting, about the call or lack of calls. Right? Is it an emotional outburst or is it dissent? Go ahead and drop it in the chat. I see 4 in there already. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It's dissent. It's dissent. It is certainly dissent. It's persistent. We've got to address it. And thank you about the animations. These new animations will be in the next US Soccer video coming out really soon. So you'll see it. This one, okay? That was a horrible call. They're pointing at you. That's a horrible call. Okay? Dissent or emotional outburst. Right? It's dissent. We can't manage that. We can't say, oh, let me have you a conversation about it. No. Someone is openly questioning your credibility in an aggressive manner on the pitch. It's dissent, and we've got to card that. We have to card that. And they have to learn from that. If we don't card them, they don't learn. Again, what we accept is what we permit, and we can't permit that. So again, dissent, it's persistent, it's targeted, it's disruptive to everything going on, and it's undermining our authority. That's right. If you don't stop at players, imitate coach and spectators. That's right, Henry. I'm with you, brother. All right. So what you'd hear out there, that's terrible. You don't know what you're doing. You've got to be kidding me. How didn't you see that? They're screaming that. Man, that is dissent. Okay, that is it. It's a problem. That's dissent. Now, when you show a card, okay, want to please keep everyone safe out there. I certainly do not want anyone getting within arm's distance and dropping a card on someone's head. Okay, that's how people get punched. Okay, that's how people get pushed. Please, 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 do not, put a card right on someone's face. Anthony's asking a question, Michelle. There's a question about respect armbands for 2025. Would you mind typing into the chat if we know where the answer is on that? That would be great. Thank you. All right. So again, 2 to 3 yards at least. I would even say 3 to 5 yards when showing a yellow card to a player. When you're dropping a yellow card on the coach, you don't need to walk all the way over and be on the sideline to drop a yellow card on the coach. Okay. Everyone can see it. Coach, that's your warning. No more, or there will be further consequences. So, good 10 to 15 yards away is what you need to be. It's pretty clear when we're carding a coach, right? We don't need to run over there. Running over, getting right into the coach's face, all that is going to do is pour fuel on the fire, and you will have more conflict, which is not what we want at all. All right, spectators. These are my people. Again, I've been a soccer dad. I'm sure you guys have been soccer moms, dads, spectators out there, grandparents. We do not engage spectators. Referees should never engage spectators. How many of you guys have seen the video of the ref? There's been like 10 that have been posted of a referee who comes over and is like talking at the parents. You need to cut it out, or I'm going to throw you out of here. And no. The coach is responsible for the spectators. In SoCal, we've got, Team A spectators on one side, Team B is on the other. You know who spectators are. You have a coach, your parents are engaged in public persistent dissent, whichever one it is. Please go have a conversation with them, ask them to stop. That's it, and we'll, continue running the clock, until they do it. If coach says, it's not my problem, coach, okay, you're going to be cautioned, again, enough to take the card, if you do not go have a conversation and ask them to stop. Great. We can card the coach. Coach, you've been warned. Please go have a conversation with the parents. Okay. I've never seen someone not go do that after you show a card to someone, but it's their responsibility to do that. Okay. Very important. Very important. If you're the assistant referee and someone asks you the time or score and they're close enough to you, again, if that's where the spectators are, yeah, you can talk to them. Yes. Yeah. We got 10 minutes remaining, whatever, or, 10 minutes plus stoppage time, whatever it might be. But again, otherwise than that, I really encourage you, don't respond when someone asks you about a question, a decision, be like, oh, I don't know, referee's closer to the play, whatever it is. But coaches are responsible for the spectators. Ask them to deal with it. And then if you do have any warnings, for spectators, even if you don't send anyone else, please, write a supplemental report. We want to be seeing which spectators are acting up and causing problems for our referees. So please, 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 go ahead and do that. And then if you do need to dismiss a parent, if a parent engages in dissent, multiple times after a warning, whatnot, it's the coach who sends them off and dismiss them. When they're doing that, we need to get from the coach, what's the name of the parent, please? What's the player, okay, that they have, the number of the player, because that's going to be part of your supplemental report. And every parent who's sent off or coach who's sent off, it's a minimum of 3-game suspension. So even if it's 2 times for a warning, I guess you would say a 2 CT if we were doing a player, for a parent or coach who gets sent off for a match, it is a minimum of 3-game suspension. And I tell you, I review every single one personally with our team here, SoCal. I've got, we had 4 coaches or 3 coaches that received like 3-game suspension. One person was a 4-game for threatening, one of those things, see what happens after the game. Oh yeah, that's going to be a minimum of 4-game suspensions for you, buddy. So yeah, we're reading them all. We're taking very seriously. If you write it up, let me tell you, action will happen. All right. Off in a bus. Offensive, insulting, abusive language. Okay. Again, this is more, there is no option on this. You can't manage this down. If someone drops an F-bomb on you and says you're an effing joke, F you, or a threat, a veiled threat, I'll see you in the parking lot, let's see what happens to you after the game, you better watch out next time I come to this town. How much is the other team paying you? Bam, you're gone. I don't care. I don't care. Okay. It is abusive. Okay. If they're escalating it to that level, they're attacking your character, your identity, any racial, things that they might say, questioning gender slurs or insults or something like that. They use threatening language or frightening language, or you feel upset when someone's coming up and like aggressively getting into your face, even if they don't touch you. Get out of here. No way. Absolute send off. No doubt. Love this guy's gesture here. It's kind of a universal gesture, but it's unacceptable language or gesture in any way, shape, or form. Words that attack an official, threats inflict harm or safety, physical contact, you are gone. No questions asked. Again, red card, I would just ask more distance. Okay. If we're doing 3 to 5 yards for showing a yellow card, let's go about, 4 to 5 or more. So I've always got cards with me, everything. Let's go back, about 5 yards back from a red card. Because you got to know when you're showing someone a red card, again, red mist might take over. I need you to be safe and make sure you're a safe distance away. Same thing for a coach as well. Okay. 5 to 10 for players, it might be 10 to 15 for coaches. And if there's no other coach on that roster, okay, you got no one else on that roster, 3 whistles, that game is over, write your supplemental, and they're going to wind up for the coach. If they have no one to replace the coach, they wind up forfeiting the game. That's not your concern. Your concern is managing the send-off, okay, and getting to safety. Getting to safety. I want you to stay strong, but I want you to stay safe, which is really, really important here. Okay. So once that all happens, and no matter what happens in your match, okay, because you're never going to be perfect. No one's ever perfect. Professionals aren't perfect. Okay, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes every single weekend. I know it. I talk to my crew. Hey, what would you call on that one? Oh, I would have called this. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. We got to let it go. Okay. When that final whistle blows, you need to be able to learn and then move forward. Learn and move forward. And I personally, I do this every single match. Like I may have a call that I make where, people are upset about the call, and maybe I don't know, even if it was a corner kick or a goal kick, or, it was a foul call, or maybe I didn't show a card, maybe I should have shown a card. I just have this inner monologue in my head that says, be great for the next 5 minutes. Be great, next call. Be great for the next 5 minutes. Be in the right position, next call. Next call. Be ready for the next call. And I just keep looking forward. And when I finish a match, it's the same thing. I'm going to debrief with my crew, and I'm going to get feedback, and I'm going to say, hey, any feedback for me? What'd you like? Was there any opportunities for improvement? Everything. I'm going to gather that. Okay. I'm going to take that with me and put it into my bank of knowledge. And then I move forward and I let it go. I don't want it to bring me down. Okay. And I know those of us, if you care enough to be a referee, if you care enough to spend your time and be here, on this call, you're not getting paid to be on this call, but you're investing in yourself to be on this call. You care. You really do care. So thank you so much for being here. But you can't let one call, one decision, one interaction, with one negative person bring you down. Okay. We got to look forward. Okay. And not let the haters win. Okay. And that's really big. So the most important thing that we can think about is the next decision and the next match. I always try and remind myself, players are going to make 10 times more mistakes than we are. Every time, at every level, No one's perfect. Mistakes happen. Let yourself recover. If you think you missed a call, or one of your fellow assistants tells you, oh, I think you missed that one. It's like, okay, well, what could I have done differently? Could I have been in a different position? Do I need to think or look back on the considerations for what is a reckless challenge or something in nature? There's no VAR. There's no video assistant review helping us. And, if you're hearing stuff from players and coaches and parents, dude, they're all biased. Every single one of them is going to be biased. When you make a call in favor of their team, they're like, yeah, it should have been. And you make a call against their team, they're like, what? Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. And they're all going to have a different view. If it was easy sitting in a, like a beach chair, 75 miles or 75 yards away from the penalty area to make penalty kick decisions, then we would sit in beach chairs, but we don't. We run around the field to try and get a good angle and be within 5-10 yards of a play. Okay. They're going to have a different view. Learn the lessons, move on, have a growth mindset. Again, every little experience you have is making you better, stronger, wiser every single time. So again, let people be silly. Let people say things that are stupid. Let people vent. You know, it's going to happen. It's a sporting event. It's exciting. Okay. People have emotions. It's a good thing. We want people to be emotionally invested. We want people to come to a soccer match. Okay. And we want them to get excited about soccer, for gosh sakes. We don't want to kill that. Okay. I hear a lot of times about these silent events where they don't even allow people to clap. I don't think that's the answer. I just don't. I don't. And I don't think when I hear zero tolerance, like, yes, zero tolerance for abuse, but I don't want to like end like the energy around the beautiful game. It's exciting, right? It's really exciting. Very competitive match, hard to score. I love the emotion, you know, that shot just going off the crossbar or something like that. That amazing save and the oohs and the ahs. Let them have those emotional outbursts, okay? Let them. But know the difference between an emotional outburst and dissent and when you need to take action. Let me take action because my credibility is being challenged, okay? It's turning into a persistent dissent. It's starting to affect the game, starting to affect the players, okay? It's starting to, you know, one of my assistant referees is someone's being loud towards, you know, one of my assistants. I need to step up and I need to take action. So let me take control and take action. But at the end of it, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. You reflect and you learn, like in that moment, you know, in that like 20, 30 minutes after the match, when you write down maybe in your journal, you know, what you did well, what you want to work on for next time, what you learned from the experience. But that's it. Then you need to move forward. Okay. They need to respect the call. You need to respect the game. It's why we're here, why we're doing this learning. But most importantly, respect yourself, love yourself, forgive yourself. Okay. We're never going to be perfect. We're always trying to evolve and move forward and do better, you know, every single week, you know, and that you just give yourself permission to let it go. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. Love you all. Can't wait to see you guys in Southern California in a couple weeks. And I'm looking forward to talking with you guys on the next call. You guys have a wonderful night. Take care.